everyone, welcome to today's practice. I'm Sierra and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. This session is designed to help you reset and relax, focusing on slow, mindful movements, whether you're feeling a little tired, stressed, or just looking for a moment of peace. This 15-minute flow will help you unwind and reconnect with your body and your breath. So we'll get started at the back of the mat in child's pose, just separating your knees wide, drawing your big toes to touch, and send your hips back and down to meet your heels. As we begin, take a moment to settle into your body, find comfort and create a little softness. Close your eyes or soften your gaze, and let's start by taking a few deep breaths together to center ourselves. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. Let's get started. Slowly peel yourself all the way up to a tabletop position, starting with some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly down, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, press away. Inhale, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, round the shoulder blades across the back. Inhale, cow pose, stick the tailbone out. Exhale, round to cat, scoop your tailbone in. Maybe you invite more movement here if you'd like. Maybe you tuck your toes or take some hip circles, spinal waves, neck rolls. Maybe flip your fingertips to face your knees. Just take anything that feels good to release any stagnant energy that may be trapped in the body. Reverse directions just to even up on both sides. Just linking your movement with your breath. Come back to neutral wrists. Come back to tabletop. Make sure that your knees are stacking right underneath your hips and separate your arms a little wider than your shoulders distance. Walk your arms out long and allow your heart to melt down towards your mat, coming into an extended puppy pose. Lengthen the tailbone up to the sky and allow your heart to melt down through the gates of your arms, allowing your chest to open and feeling a deep stretch in your thoracic spine, your upper spine. Maybe your forehead's on the mat, or maybe you draw your chin to the mat and you gaze forwards to create something deeper. Go and honor wherever you need to be in your practice today, knowing that I'm only here to guide you, so just listen to your body. Gently walk your hands back to stack underneath your shoulders and press it back to child's pose. Arms wide, gazes forwards. Inhale, slide through your arms. Sphinx pose. Prop yourself up on your forearms. Grab opposite elbows. Make sure elbows are stacking under your shoulders. Draw your forearms down, palms face down. And energetically try to focus on pressing your elbows down into the mat and squeezing them in towards your rib cage. Soften your shoulders down away from your ears. Maybe your gaze is forwards. Or maybe you explore and draw your gaze up on your inhale. And on your next exhale, draw your chin towards your chest. Take whatever feels best here. And notice if anything is showing up. We tend to store a lot of emotions and a lot of tension in our spine. So back bends like this really help release and let go of anything we're holding on to. Gently make your way down, create a pillow with your forearms, draw your forehead down, and take a moment to windshield wipe your knees left and right, just resetting the spine, resetting what we just did. Extend your legs, place your left palm down, extend your right arm out long, draw your right cheek down onto your mat, bend your left knee, and try to roll over towards your extended arm, coming into a broken wing pose. Feeling a deep stretch in your right shoulder, allowing your left knee to open up and out to the side to open your hip. Try to focus on opening your chest. And mindfully work on rolling all the way back down onto the belly. And just taking it to the other side, ground down through the right palm, extend the left arm out long past the shoulder. Draw your left cheek down onto your mat. Bend your right knee and roll over towards your extended arm. Again, coming to broken wing. Yogi's choice. Maybe you keep your right hand on your mat, or maybe you lift your arm up towards the sky and take a bind behind your back, or cactus your arm. Allow your heart to open. Stay with the breath. Slowly make your way all the way back to the center, back down onto the belly. Ground down through the palms at the bottom of the rib cage. Inhale, take a back bend, lift your chest, lift your heart, generous bend in your elbows. Tuck your toes, bend your knees, and send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Setting up for spinal waves, come up under your tiptoes and take a deep breath in and roll your spine all the way to a plank pose. Gaze forwards. Bend your knees, arch your spine, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll your spine all the way to plank pose. Bend your knees, arch your spine, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, roll to plank, create a wave with the spine. Bend the knees, arch the spine, gaze up, send the hips up and back. Mindfully tiptoe your feet all the way to meet your hands at the top edge of your mat, meeting in a forward fold. Bend your knees, grab opposite elbows, and just ragdoll the body left and right. Maybe take a few yeses and a few no's with the head. Release any resistance in the upper body. Release the arms down, bend the knees, and slowly rise all the way up, vertebra by vertebra, till your spine is completely straight. Head is the last to rise. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms and step the right foot back into a runner's lunge and just heel toe your left foot over to the left edge of your mat. Heels in, toes out, setting up for lizard pose. Maybe your palms are pressing down into the mat and your arms are extended, or maybe you drop down onto your forearms. Maybe you find movement here and take tiny circles with your hips. Maybe you drop your back knee down and untuck your back toes. Where do you need to go here? What can you soften? Maybe you press up and press your left hand into your left knee and draw your gaze long past your left shoulder, taking a twist. And if it's in your practice, maybe you also grab your back foot and bend your elbow up towards the sky, feeling a deep stretch in your quad. Place your palms back down to the center and then just heel toe your left foot to the right side of your mat, setting up for pigeon pose. Generously bend your left knee and fold over your shin whenever you feel comfortable. Go down to whatever height feels best for you. And again, maybe you find movement here and you shift left and right in your hips. Maybe you find stillness and just breathe into this. Gently press yourself all the way back up and place your weight onto your left glute. Pivot your right toes to face the sky and walk the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky, and on your exhale, bend down towards your extended leg. Right arm comes to the inside of right leg. You're to peel your chest up, gaze up underneath your left armpit. On each breath in, can you create a little more space in your rib cage? And on each breath out, can you let go a little deeper? Cartwheel your arms all the way to the top edge of your mat. Pivot on your back toes and press it back, downward facing dog. Just pedaling out anything, just noticing the difference on each side right now. Gently walk your hands to meet your feet all the way to the top edge of your mat. Ground down, bend the knees, and slowly rise all the way up, feeling every part of the spine stack over the hips. Inhale, arms rise all the way up towards the sky, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down, let it go. Deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms and step the left foot back into a runner's lunge. Heel toe your right foot over to the right edge of your mat, sitting up for lizard pose. Maybe your palms are pressing down and your arms are extended. Maybe you take tiny circles with your hips in one direction and then the other. Maybe you're on your forearms. Each side is always a little different than the other, so just see what feels best for your body here. Option to drop the back knee down and tuck the toes. Try to breathe into this. Squeezing your right knee in towards your right shoulder, sending your breath into your hips. Work on pressing yourself all the way back up if you'd like to create a little more openness in your hip. Come onto the blade edge of your right foot and actively press your right knee away from your body with your right arm. Gaze long back behind your right shoulder. Try to lead with your chest. And if it's in your practice, maybe you bend your back knee and you grab the top of your back foot. Bend your elbow up towards the sky and try to focus on shifting your hips forwards to feel a deep stretch in your quad. Release the back leg. Walk your hands back to the top edge of your mat and then just work on heel toeing your foot over to the opposite side of the mat. Bend your right knee generously. Try to sit up nice and tall. And then on your next exhale, fold over your shin, coming into a pigeon pose. Yogi's choice. Maybe you're on your palms with your arms extended, pressing up high. Or maybe you drop down onto your forearms or onto your belly. And try to focus on lengthening your spine and pressing the top of your back thigh into the top of your mat so your hips are square. Take a deep inhale in through the belly. And a long, effortless exhale out. Press back into your palms, extend your arms, and then shift your weight to your right glute. Pivot your left toes to face the sky. Try to ground down through both of your sitting points. Deep breath in, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky. And on your exhale, bend down towards your extended leg. Left arm comes to the inside of your left leg. Right arm rises. Try to gaze up underneath your right armpit and spiral your left rib cage underneath your right. Shoulders are stacking. Curl your arms all the way back to the top edge of your mat and press it back to a downward facing dog. Last down dog of practice. Come back to the breath. Gently float your knees down onto the mat, cross your ankles, press your seat back, and then extend your legs in front of you, setting up for our final poses. If you have a block nearby, maybe you grab a hold of that, and then just meet me down on your spine. Block is optional. Press the block underneath the tailbone, and then slowly lift your legs all the way up towards the sky, coming into legs up the wall. Draw your arms next to the sides of the body, or maybe your arms are extended up towards the sky to create the same sensation. Just allowing your rest and digest system to slow down and regulate. Your parasympathetic nervous system. Try to come back to the breath. When you're ready, release your feet down. Extend your legs long. Heels in, toes out. Draw your arms to the sides of the body with your palms face up for receiving energy, or maybe palms face down for grounding energy. What would serve you best today? Close your eyes or soft gaze towards your nose and just allow yourself to let go. Bring your awareness to the soft rise of your belly with each inhale and gentle fall with each exhale. Tune in and notice what you can soften. Maybe you soften the space between the brows, soften the forehead, the eyes and the muscles around the eyes. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And gently part the teeth. Relax the jaw. Soften the shoulders down, away from your ears. Relax the spine. Relax your whole entire being. And just simply begin again. Bring a fresh awareness to any sounds you may hear, any thoughts that may arise, any sensations in the body. And just simply begin again. I hope you learn to see yourself with kinder eyes. I hope you learn that your days do not have to be filled with everything the world says they must be. I hope you find the beauty in letting yourself rest and letting yourself be. I hope you will nurture yourself in the simplest ways. I hope you will give yourself the benefit of the doubt. I hope you will see your strengths a little more than your weaknesses. I hope you know that you're more than you let yourself believe. Gently find movement in your fingers and your toes. Maybe you draw your arms up and take the biggest stretch you've had all day, just reawakening your body. Hug your knees in towards your chest and just wrap yourself up in a hug, just sending yourself a little thanks for showing up today, making it to practice. Maybe you roll over to one side in a fetal position or press yourself all the way back up to seated. Draw your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. The light in me honors and recognizes the light in you. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Until next time, namaste.